I love being a developer, but being a developer in Africa is just... On paper, being a developer sounds great. You just need a laptop and internet, right? But in Africa, it's not as straightforward as you think. Let's talk about one of the major issues every African can relate to: electricity. I live in Nigeria, and in Nigeria, the company that handles our power is called NEPA. And let's just say that if you gave me a water gun right now, I'll be charged for my first criminal offense, and it won't be the possession of a water arm. Because tell me why I'm in the middle of coding, fully locked in, headphones on, actively in my flow state, and suddenly, my laptop pops up with a notification telling me I should connect to my charger. Because apparently, as I was busy writing code, NEPA decided to screw with me just for fun. If you knew at least when there'll be lights and when there won't, that would be better, so you can structure your day around that schedule. But these guys are just random. There have been days when they'll give you lights, and after 5 minutes, they take it, just to remind you who's boss. And I've had times when there won't even be lights for the entire day, and when you're about to sleep by 2 AM, they decide to give you lights. What the fuck? And there have been times where for an entire week, they can decide not to give you lights. And it's not even that the electricity is fully given by the government. We pay for it, and it's so expensive. One time I was trying to fix a bug for hours, and I couldn't find the solution. So I went to bed. I don't know how, but I figured out the solution that night. So as I woke up, I was excited to try out the solution I thought of while in bed. I turned my laptop on, sat on my chair, and light was out. And what pained me the most was that I didn't plug my laptop to charge overnight because I was afraid of my battery damaging more. Another fatal experience I had with NEPA was when I scheduled a meeting with my team a few days ago, hoping that on that day, by some miracle chances, there'll be lights. Well, that day arrived, and I had to join the meeting with my phone connected to a power bank. In Africa, developers don't work in hours, we work in battery percentages. Because you don't decide how long you code, your battery decides that for you. 80 to 100% means you can comfortably code for about an hour or two. Around 60% means just light coding. 40% means start rounding up. And anything below that means your laptop is off. Since for most of us, our batteries are cooked because we charge them overnight in fear that they won't be light the next day when we wake up. You start memorizing the sound of your generator, you know exactly how much fuel you have left and when it's about to turn off from the pitch of the generator alone. This basically becomes part of your workflow. And if you don't have a generator, you improvise. Power banks, charging at barber shops, asking friends if they have lights so you can come over. Electricity in Africa is far from a basic utility. It's an event. When light comes on, everyone watches to do everything at once. Charge phones, pump water, turn on laptop and work fast before it disappears again. Yes, electricity is bad and all, but having no network is worse. Like, tell me why I will buy data and it doesn't work when I want to use it. So when by God's special grace, light comes on, you feel hopeful for about 5 minutes. As you remember, you have to deal with Africa's internet service providers. There's this company, I'm not going to call names, but they have an iconic red color and their name starts with an A. They're very popular in Nigeria. I had to switch my provider from them to a slightly lesser evil because it became very unbearable at a point. You turn on your data to do work, you go in your browser and open GitHub, you see the dinosaur game, nothing's loading. Then you check your network and it's even showing 5G, but you can't browse or do anything online. Tell me why. Now since it's only browsing that is the issue, surely I should be able to make calls, right? Don't expect much. No internet, no calls. Come on. And the cost of data is very expensive. I'm not even going to lie. So as you're going online, you're trying to avoid going on YouTube or watching any video tutorial. Because if you make that mistake, you'll be left wondering where all your data went. Most times, switching providers don't even help. Because there's some times where all the networks are down at the same time for no good reason. So even when you have power, even when your laptop is charged, even when you're ready to work, your productivity that day still depends on how lucky you are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce you PayPal. Fun fact about this company is that it and a lot of companies like them don't work in Africa. Now why don't they not work? Well, the official reason they gave was due to the high rates of fraud. But come on, a lot of countries have similar issues and PayPal still works in them. Don't make me call names. How many jobs have lost because the client doesn't trust our African alternative to PayPal? And even the African alternatives I've used take really long to receive the money from the time it was transferred. All these fintech companies are just evil. Don't even try to defend them. Both the African ones and the ones outside Africa. I remember a time when I was still on Fiverr and I got paid a lot for a gig. Okay, now let me send the money from my Fiverr account to my local bank account. Problem: I was not able to talk to some friends and they recommended to me a particular company that starts with a letter P and ends with letter R. Like always, I'm afraid of dropping names. But let me tell you, just to set up my account on that service was hard. Every data you give them must be 100% correct in the right order, else they will not allow you to get your money. So after I gave the company everything about myself, from my full birth name to my personal bank details, I was left praying, hoping that this company doesn't fall victim to a data breach. Because if they do, I'm cooked for sure. After passing that hurdle, tell me me why they will deduct more than $5 just to send it to my local bank account. And in my local account, they deducted $2 just from the money being there. It's not even funny at all. Sure, a total of $7 deducted from my payout isn't that much, but it's certainly unexpected because they don't tell you these things openly. They just take it and expect you to deal with it. Forgetting these fintech companies for a second, my bank deducts $1 or $2 from my account every now and then, just because money is there. I don't even use the account, like at all. It's my savings for Christ's sake. Fintech companies sucks really bad, but they are sense when you compare them to Nigerian businessmen. So it's an established fact that companies outside Africa pretend Africa don't exist. Sure, you can see their branches in South Africa and maybe major cities in a handful of countries like Nigeria, but outside these major cities is a savage wasteland. Buying gadgets in any place other than the official store is a bad advice, because outside these company stores, the prices of their products are overinflated to the point that it stops making sense. A laptop that sells for a normal price online suddenly costs double locally, not because it's better, not because it's newer, but just because you don't have any other option. Can you imagine? These vendors know that you can't walk into the official store because there isn't. They know importing it yourself is risky. They know returns are basically impossible, so they set any price they like. And they have the guts to act like they are giving you the best possible deal. A lot of people outside Nigeria complain about the rates at which Nigerian people scam people overseas, but they fail to see the rates at which Nigerians scam themselves. In the name of business, I've seen second-hand laptops costing the same price as its first-hand counterparts online. You close your eye and buy it, only to be met with a truckload of faults after 1 month of use. So you go back to them to complain, and they say it's your fault. Excuse me, my fault? This is why I don't want to buy anything in Nigeria. I don't like every single time I buy it. It's really, really frustrating. That's why us Nigerians don't trust second-hand gadgets. You rather manage our 40 ones until you can save enough money to overpay for a brand new one. And to those websites that don't allow access from Africa, sucks for you, cause we have VPNs, even if they're slow and all. Most times, yes, some websites are banned in our countries, and most times, some websites are not even popular enough to be banned. So tell me why every time I try to access call, it always says it's on scheduled maintenance. At first, I believe them, but after an entire year of trying to access the website, I guess the scheduled maintenance they're on is very serious. Well, I don't care. I can build my own skill. Even if you have skills, you have the money, and you have a clear intent. But because your IP says Africa, the doors remains closed. These companies know that Africa exists. They know we have developers here. They know people are willing to use and pay for their products, but they just choose not to bother at all. And when you try to go around it, VPNs, foreign numbers, even as far as using borrowed addresses, you're the one taking the risks. Because if your account mistakenly gets detected, that's automatic suspension. Payments get frozen, and well, support vanishes. Because officially, you are never supposed to be there. So African developers spend extra time doing things the hard way, either rebuilding the tool others get for free, or just avoiding platforms that might log them out tomorrow. And the craziest part is how normal this has become. Being blocked, being excluded, being ignored. A lot of people outside Africa complain about Africa being locked out from the global system, but they don't see how normal it is for Africans to be quietly cut out in the first place.
Come over.
Where are we going?
Oh, around. It's a surprise.
But at least, we are morally upright leaders. So it's very clear that as Africans, we fight just to have basic utilities everyone else in the world has: electricity, internet, access to existing services, and high-performing gadgets. That's why I'm genuinely proud and impressed whenever I'm seeing an African making a name for themselves. Because genuinely, everyone doesn't have the same starting line, but most of us have the same end goal, which is to make a lot of money and spend it all on gambling. Just kidding. Happy you stayed on to the end of the video. Make sure to check out this video on how I almost went to jail for attempted cyber fraud. And like and subscribe to the channel to support your boy. Peace.